next presentation is for the send-off and welcoming ceremonies and the place of the music. So we will listen Dr. Muhammet Sevinç.
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. I would like to thank Turkish Religious Affairs Authority for organizing this international Hajj Symposium. Organizing committee, I would like to thank them, congratulate them, everyone who had participated and contributed this symposium with their presentations. May God's mercy be upon you. Starting from the 9th year of Hijrat, as you know, Hajj has always been an important worship among Muslims. Hajj has some conditions to be met, physically, bodily, mentally, financially, and still it constitutes an important part in the hearts of every believer of Islamic faith. Even though not everybody is capable of performing Hajj, those who have this intention, those who were able to perform this duty has always been admired by the fellow believers in their communities. And they were always supported with those around them for their safe travels come back and forth. Goodbye and welcoming ceremonies are an important part of this tradition because it will be very helping for them to prepare for this sacred but also very challenging journey. This is also aiming to share the happiness of the candidate pilgrims. And in these ceremonies, there is a sense of collaboration, cooperation, and solidarity. The brotherhood and sisterhood is very well known in Mevlid associations. The pilgrims, before they set off their journey, and once they complete their duty and come back home, this goodbye and welcome ceremonies are becoming important values of our culture. Almost in all parts of Anatolia, we can see that tradition being performed quite lively. Just like in any collective ceremonies, so goodbye and welcome ceremonies are accompanied by music, which is the common language of humanity. And there are many important examples of our religious music and also citation of Quran, salawats, mevlid, and also there are chants, Hajj chants, and they take an important place in that ceremonies. They're usually performed in the neighborhood, in the house of the candidate pilgrims, and also in the place until this entire city or entire neighborhood Hajjs are convened in a square before they set off their journey. And also, they are welcomed by their loved ones when they complete their duty, and again, a similar ceremony is being performed. When you look in the history, those who presented before me have mentioned the Hajj music in Ottoman times. When you look at in our history, especially during Abbasi time, the Hajj caravans used to get convened in Baghdad. And those who are coming from outside Baghdad used to be welcomed in the tents over there, and they used to continue their journey from there on. And even back in those times, while Hajjis were being welcomed, while they are being said goodbye, they were used to be sent off by takbirs and citation from Quran and with different chants. Also in Egypt, Hijaz and Syrian territory, the Mamluk time, they are also attaching a high importance on Hajj organization. Starting from Cairo, Egyptian group of pilgrims started their organization in such an early time, and they started in the main streets of Cairo. They came together, they play certain instruments and perform some salawat, takbirs, and chants. So they first make a tour in Kaura Square, and then they've been sent off their journey. Also in Selçuk time, they also have this tradition they are common. They are attaching highest importance on Nöbet in saying goodbye and saying welcome to pilgrims. A musical group used to accompany pilgrims. In Konya, in Anatolian Selçuk's time, in the Dervish convent, in Dervish lodge in Konya, again, it was a central location with regard to saying goodbye and welcome to Hajis, to pilgrims. There is an Amin group when saying goodbye and welcome ceremonies. Especially during the welcoming ceremonies, a rice is cooked. It is still a tradition even in Konya. And the students of the school of that neighborhood is used to be invited to that ceremony. The teachers, also families and friends. And the candidate pilgrim, when they come home, they used to have an Amin squad. They have their trainers, and they used to chant this. That's one of the famous Hajj chants. And 10, 15 trainers of those students perform that, and at the end of each verse, students are saying Amen, Amen, Amen. So this chant has been repeated 3-4 times. This is how the pilgrim is accompanied until his or her home. And again, Mevlid is a common ceremony in the welcoming time for pilgrims. Of course, today it is not that common as it was used to be, that Amin squad. Also in Ottoman time, that surra squads were having a special place in Ottoman times. When surra squad has been sent, also music is involved. There is the state officials, the Sultan is present, and those who have the nice voice recite from Quran. And then there is a poem for the Sultan, and then the gifts, and also the camels are carrying important presents. They start from Babali, then Sirkeci, and they are coming with, again, chants. Again, they pass through the Bosphorus with the boats in Üsküdar as well. Again, Surah is welcomed by people. And then they welcome them with, again, salavat. And through Üsküdar, they go to Paşa Kapısı. There's another ceremony. And last but not the least, in separation, ayrılık çeşmesi, which means separation foundation, the fountain, and those pilgrims used to be said goodbye from that position with tekbir, salavats, qasidas, and also Hajj chants. Ottoman society was quite attached to their traditions and values, and they have these special ceremonies for candidate pilgrims. And when a pilgrim is preparing for the journey, they say goodbye to friends and families, and all the neighbors and relatives. They take him, and then first some Quran is being cited by the Imam, and then that candidate pilgrim is said goodbye and wished and prayed to have a safe travel. And everybody is just joining in this prayer by saying Amin, Amin loudly. Again, it is accompanied with takbir, salawats, and Hajj chants. They are either said goodbye until the port if they're going to use the maritime road, or for the other gate if they will be using the land road. If people are coming together in an organization, music is involved this way or another. Because music is keeping people together. It's a way to express people's emotions and thoughts in the best possible way. And it really penetrates to the soul and minds of people. Therefore, in such type of organizations, music plays an important role. However, our religious music is not for entertainment purpose. Therefore, the music in the mosque, different forms in tekke, in the dervish lodges, they are all for aiming to remember Allah, to feel the virtue of Allah, and therefore that religious music which has been performed in the goodbye and welcome ceremonies are having the same purpose, and they have been used quite frequently. Of course, it has an important place in the rich cultural heritage of Anatolia. Anatolian people are quite attached to their traditions and value, and when they are performing their Hajj duty, when they prepare for that journey, they also prepare themselves spiritually by the help of music. And when they come all the way back from Hajj and they come together with their loved ones, again music is accompanied as well. In all cities and villages in Anatolia, there are people who are lucky enough to have this holy journey, and everybody around them is admiring their fortune to be able to complete that important duty, that therefore they are being welcomed with joy. And these welcoming ceremonies are also quite common in Anatolia. There are quite similar welcoming ceremonies, but still there are some minor differences, regional nuances as well. But of course, it has been organized by some leaders living in these neighborhoods. They are quite capable of organizing such welcoming or goodbye ceremonies. Now it's been performed by the provincial or district authorities of Turkish religious affairs. There's a program organized for that, and it is addressing to the loved ones of these pilgrims. And when they come back, they usually organize these Mevlid ceremonies. They organize some also food for those who are coming to share their feelings. Sometimes the organizing companies, the travel agencies of Hajj, is also organizing certain activities. In such activities, again, music is performed where these activities are organized. Usually these are the terminals, sometimes the airports, and sometimes they organize a meeting point before their departure from the airport. Again, Hafiz with very beautiful voice are reciting from Quran, they are singing those chants, and they keep that excitement alive even today. Let me share a couple of examples. When I prepared this presentation, I sampled from welcome and goodbye ceremonies. I've discussed with the religious officers who are actually taking part. I try to listen to their memories. We have some mutual anecdotes have been shared. For instance, in Amasya, I have discussed with Hafız Muhammed Aksoy, and I said, how do you perform goodbye ceremonies for pilgrims in Amasya? People in Amasya start their excitement in Hajj 3 or 4 months in advance if they are actually qualified to be a pilgrim, because there's a raffle, as you know. And that's such a big happiness. They organize a Hajj Mevlid a couple of days in advance. Again, Hafiz with beautiful voices. They recite from Quran, especially from Baqarah Surat, these words with regard to Hajj. And then Mevlid is performed. After that, some Hajj chants have been performed with salawats, with takbirs. It turns into a festive, musical time, and then they are invited to share some food, and they are asked for to give their blessings, and then they also say a prayer, and they are actually joining others in the carcade, and they come to the biggest square, which is called the Pilgrim Square. All the candidate pilgrims in the city, they assemble over there, and another ceremony is organized over there. That's a collective ceremonies. Again, there are some takbirs, salawats, and chants have been performed, and this is also motivating pilgrims before their challenging journey. And also, thanks to these ceremonies, those who are participating, those who really want to go to Hajj one day, they satisfy their desire to a certain extent, or they share their willingful to join that journey one day as well. I remember from my childhood that there was a square in our neighborhoods, and the buses used to assemble there. We have sent my father a couple of times with the land road when I was a child, and I remember that love, that happiness in that square. And Hafizes used to recite from Quran, they used to perform some chants, and I remember Hajis, the pilgrims, with tears in their eyes, and their friends and relatives were quite touched with the emotions. I still remember those times. Therefore, welcome and send-off ceremonies are very important values in our culture, and they're still quite alive as of today. Since we do not have enough time, I cannot share all of them, but there are quite similar ceremonies all around Anatolia. And when our presentations, when our manuscripts are turned into, when they're published, you can reach more detailed information. Thank you very much for your patience. And also, I would like to thank Turkish Religious Affairs Authority for the organization, participants, and the panelists. Thank you. Thank you very much.